I'll edit this part out and we'll get going. All right, here we go.
All right.
Steve, Brian, welcome to Hamza's Corner. I am happy that you guys decided to join us.
Brian, welcome to Steve's Corner. Hamza, thanks for joining us as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's I thought people would be more reluctant about joining Hamza's Corner after what happened to myself and Matt last time we were in Hamza's Corner. A little bit of a bad luck spree, but hey, you guys should have nothing to worry about, right?
I don't remember what you're talking about, to be honest with you.
It sounds dirty, so let's not bring it up again. I don't really want to know what happened between you and Matt in the corner. Don't need to know. It's between you guys. We could just.
All right. We'll keep that. Whatever happens at Hamza's Corner after hours, we'll keep that to Hamza's Corner after hours. But I appreciate you guys joining. You guys have had a bye week the last couple weeks, so. Except for the game that's going on right now, the last couple of weeks being over. What have you guys seen? What have you guys seen that you like? What have you guys seen that you're worried about? Let's start off with maybe just how's the couple week vacation been?
Go ahead, Steve.
So first of all, I want to call out that I believe in previous episodes of Hamza's Corner, Hamza dressed up and had a blazer on, and he does not show me and Brian the respect of putting on his best. So I'm offended for that reason. Also offended because Hamza texted me the other day and said, hey, if Brian can't do this, can you be my backup? So also offended that I'm your second option. That being said, I think Brian will agree that, this is a season unlike any other for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons we've experienced past couple weeks is the bye week has not been a relaxing time. Usually we're just kind of watching the rest of the league and we're confident, we're comfortable going forward. But I think each of us have some COVID concerns with our roster. Lamar is out today, and who knows if he'll be back next week. And it's a quarterback, not a huge deal. But I've had other injury issues as well. And I know Brian's gotten hit with Connor with the COVID, I think, and then Will Fuller taking some bad drugs, some bad things. So I'm sure Brian. I don't know. I'll let Brian speak for himself. But it has not been a comfortable bye week the past couple weeks.
No, it hasn't been, because we're sitting. And first, I do agree. I am deeply disrespected by
the lack of blazer.
The lack of the blazer.
2020, man, get over it. This is work from home. This is what you get.
My shirt says "back and body hurts." I stayed at home today. It's a little problematic when you sit there and you watch. Derrick Henry did well for me, but then Miles Sanders is not playing well. My best receiver on the year, who made me confident enough to trade away Stephen Ridley to get Miles Sanders, just tested positive for PEDs, and he's gone. And then we have, James Conner on IR. I don't feel very comfortable. And I got a tough schedule in week 13 and a lot of tough matchups. And then, my quarterback, who's done a good job getting me this far, is not looking like he's having great matchups coming up either. So, I'm not very comfortable, or not as comfortable as I was, a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, what do you guys? So first, to address the offended part, kind of what it is, deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. There have been other Hamza's Corners where I haven't dressed up. I've actually worn this zip up for that too. It's a sporty one. Look you got all your sporty stuff in the back. Casson's got his Bears hat on. So, with that being said, jumping into the next thing is, Steve, you were never a backup. I wanted you both to be on here. I had asked Brian to be on a separate one just by himself. What I wanted to do is do Brian have a separate one a couple weeks ago.
The text?
You don't have to read the text. We're good.
Okay, if Brian can't do it, I might just go with you. Literally what it says. Okay, if Brian can't do it, I might just go with you.
The just is what. Yeah.
It's context there. My bad.
You're talking about the commissioner. Second place in the regular season, earned a bye. Have some respect.
Second place in the regular. We'll get to fighting words a little bit later on, but we just got into some of the negatives. What do you guys?
I am literally second place.
What are you guys?
Second place is just as good as
confident about going into this matchup.
What was that last part? I was talking.
What do you guys feel confident about going into this matchup? Casson, you're going up against Matt. Matt's called you out. He's calling his shot. What are you confident about going into the matchup with Matt?
I'm confident in that I outscored Matt by like 20 points on average in the regular season. And the fact that his starting running backs are James Robinson and Antonio Gibson. I mean, they're not world beaters. They've been good fantasy players, but they're not guys you look at and worry about. Although they are right now 4 and 5 in the league in scoring at running back position. But the complete meltdown for Michael Thomas this year is encouraging. DeAndre Hopkins falling off a little bit in recent weeks after his miracle catch that gave Matt the win in Week 10, by the way, makes me feel like I'm all right. I mean, Raheem Mostert is his third running back in the flex right now, and his other options are not good. So, I mean, if he runs into any trouble at all with injuries, COVID, or anything like that, then he's not going to be able to hang on. So I feel like my roster depth is helping a bit, and I've had to do that quite a bit over the year with the roster depth filling in for bye weeks and injuries and things like that. So I'm feeling pretty good. And also, it's tough to respect Matt when he has tried to fill the shoes of Daniel Mayton. So as much as I appreciate his historical work in the league, he's just Mayton to me now, and I think I was like historically 100% against Mayton. So I'm feeling pretty good about Matt, even though he won in the regular season. One was a miracle play, the other one was Week 1. Since in between there, I think I was buying a far the better team.
Okay. Well, strong words coming from the person that's made it to the semis the most in the league.
I have.
So
yeah.
There you go. Steve, what about you? What do you're going up against, the COVID, Eddie's COVID team. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I felt a lot better a couple weeks ago. Right now, I'm just hanging on hope that I've got some good karma coming my way. I've been bad for a long time. I just feel like I'm due. But to be honest, again, I've got Christian McCaffrey on a bye this upcoming week, and it's not a great position to be in. I'm hoping Eddie's team has kind of been hit or miss, as Eddie himself has been throughout the league history. So we'll see. I think Eddie's got a couple of great players, and Metcalf and Mahomes that are enough to beat any team. Let's face it. But we'll see. I think the weirdness of this year will continue, and that's why I'm hopeful, because you just never know.
Yeah, we learned a lot this year that anybody could be a boom or bust. All it takes is for one player to put up 50 points, and hey, you still might lose. So
yeah,
that's just you can lose when you have a guy put up 50.
Let's not even get into that. Steve, you had a lull these past couple weeks. Do you feel like you got your lull out of the way, so that set it up for your team to perform this upcoming week?
You mean me being on the bye, or me before that?
No, I mean right now your team has only put up 180 points the last two weeks. Out of the teams in the playoffs, you have the lowest points for the last 2 weeks. If there was ever a time to hit a lull, this is the time to do it, when you got to bye.
I mean, I know you're not known for your crack research, but also a quick look at my roster. I mean, I've got 0 points from my starting quarterback this week, so that's going to have an impact.
Yeah, but that gets
when you're on a bye, you're not really making roster changes. So, I mean, you're right. Sure, being on a bye is the time to have a lull, but I don't think your question is very valid, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't want to offend you anymore. In this whole cancel culture, I don't want Hamza's Corner to be canceled.
I mean, just to kind of go with it, I gotta say, Steve, I would be worried if I were you. 50 points so far. You know, your quarterback played today, so you had 50 points yesterday. That's worrisome.
Right now, that's the lowest point in 1 week by anybody.
I mean, sure, but like, if I were playing this past week, I wouldn't have started the Bears defense. Like, I would have made
That's
moves.
true.
I left my roster alone because it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not like some people in this league where I need my ego stroke just to see the numbers go up when it doesn't even matter. And like, no, I it's about load management in 2020. I need to make sure that my guys are ready to go, and they're not. You know, I'm not going out there just for my own ego to put up numbers. I'm going to go out there when it matters, when it means something.
You know what, Steve? I take offense to that. Who on our team, who in our league has that kind of an ego? Who in our league is that kind of an ego that would do something like that?
You know, I am not the one to throw stones. That's not my style. We all know who's in the league, and everyone's fault. And I'm above that, to be honest. I'm that great of a human being, and a humble one, by the way, that I'm just not going to go there. I'm not going to be brought down by this gotcha journalism, Hamza.
We'll have to talk to Newman, see what he's doing, because can't have that continue. Brian, what about you, man? Do you feel like you may have busted your load a little too early this year? I mean, your team actually did really well this week.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my guys just perform every time like it's the real thing. You know, they don't take any weeks off. You know, Steve wants to manage his guys by giving them a rest. I say, you know, you take a rest, you fall off. So you gotta
crack the whip.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. What worries you the most about your opponent going in? You know, final question here, just what worries you most about your opponent going in? And then are you already planning for going for the ship? You know, are you looking past your opponent? Are you looking ahead? Or are you guys managing game to game?
I think for me, and this might be a little bit of a stretch, and maybe I'm just an anxious person, but I'm probably most worried about Eddie having the best quarterback and the best wide receiver in the entire league on his team. That's probably the things that I'm thinking about and focused on. So, you know, it's one game at a time, one play at a time. The inches we need are everywhere, and you got to focus on the inches right in front of your face.
Okay, inches. What about you, Brian?
I'm worried about if Matt has his two stud wide receivers play well at the same time as his two starting scrub running backs, then I'm in trouble. I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't get to play the Bears every week. You know, I'm not worried about Evan Ingram or, you know, the Dolphins defense. But you know, I'm not really worried about Matt playing well. I'm worried about him getting lucky with the right lineup. Like if he makes a change and he gets lucky, then I'm worried because, you know, he could randomly hit the optimal lineup out of his, you know, the guys on his roster. But most weeks he probably won't. So I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm worried that I could lose the majority of the games or weeks this year against Matt, and how bad that would make me feel. So that's mostly what I'm worried about.
Okay. Well, any closing thoughts? You guys have closing thoughts to say for your fans, the people that are anticipating this Hamza's Corner episode to air?
I can tell you one thing. Eddie will not win a third championship this year.
You know, I would be really struck if he went from Ian to champion to Ian to champion. I mean, he's got something going on if that's what he has figured out to win it.
Yeah, as I wrote in that post, you know, he's incredibly efficient in this decade when he makes the semifinals. I mean, he won 2018, and I think the last time was in 2012. He just picks up wins when he needs them. It's incredible. But you know, I think that Eddie has a bit of a gauntlet to run to win.
Freaking taco.
Yeah.
Steve, final thoughts?
So I just want to thank both of you for joining Steve's Corner today. I appreciate it. Apologies to Matthew Berry. We ran out of time. Maybe next time. And thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
All right. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Cut. Now I need to figure out how to... Oh, he jumped off.